next bacteria we are going to discuss is the Neisseria. So the genus Neisseria, it consists of a gram-negative aerobic, which is oxidase positive non-motile diplococci. Fine. So the Neisseria, the genus Neisseria, it consists of the gram-negative aerobic non-sporulating non-motile oxidase positive cocci, which is typically arranged in the pairs, which is known as diplococci. So in Neisseria we are going to study the two important pathogens, that are the Neisseria gonococcus and the Neisseria meningococcus. So in the smears from the urethral discharge, the gonococcus, it is found predominantly within the polymorphs, that is intracytoplasmic. Important. Now, the important is the difference between the gonococci and the meningococci. So, though both the gonococci and the meningococci belongs to the genus Neisseria, they have some difference in the morphology and the other characteristics. So, the important differences between the gonococci and between the meningococci are, so first, which is important, the gonococci, these are not capsulated, while the meningococci, these are capsulated. So the gonococci, they ferment glucose but not maltose, while the meningococci, they ferment both the glucose as well as the maltose. So the growth can occur anaerobically in gonococci, while the meningococci, these are strictly aerobes. So gonococci, these are arranged with the adjacent site, which is concave, and it is kidney shaped. Can you see this? This is a kidney shape like pattern. While the meningococci, these are arranged in the pair with the adjacent side flattened with the half moon shape. With the half moon shaped. Fine. So let's discuss the gonococci and the meningococci in detail. So the Neisseria gonococci, these are the gram-negative oval cocci, which are arranged in pair. Arranged in pairs. That is why it is known as diplococci. So in this, these are arranged in the pair with the adjacent side convex, which appear as a bean shape, a pear, or a kidney shape. Fine. This one. So in this, so in the smear from the purulent material, they are intracellular within the polymorph. Fine. So these are the gonococci, which are gram-negative diplococci, because these are in pairs. The urethral stricture may consist as a complication of the gonococcal urethritis. The gonococci may extend to semivesicles and the epididymis along the urethra. So for the uncomplicated gonorrhea, the single dose of ceftriaxone, it is the drug of choice. So now coming on to the virulence factors of the gonococci. So the gonococci have many virulence factors that enable it to establish itself within a host, enhance to its potential to cause the disease. While the virulence factors, it may be divided into the organism related and it is host related. So the factors are the organism related and the host factor. So in the organism related, it is the outer membrane protein in which there is fimbriae, the opacity which is associated with the protein, porin, the H.8 lipoprotein, TBP1, TBP2, that is the transferrin binding protein. TBP is transferrin binding protein, lactoferrin binding protein, and important is IgA1, which is immunoglobulin A and protease, important. The reduction modifiable protein and the lipo-oligosaccharide. So these are the organism related viral infectors. Coming on to the host factor, these are the terminal complementary deficiency, activation of phospholipase C and the sphingomyelinase. So after this, let's discuss the lab diagnosis of gonorrhea. So it is the urethral discharge, it is the most important specimen, So transport media, if processing is to occur, see, if the processing is to be occur within the 6 hours, then the stored medium or the Ames medium, important. The stored medium and the Ames medium. While if the processing is to occur more than 6 hours, then GEM, BEC, Gembic or the Gonopac system, which is a media with the self-contained carbon dioxide generating system, important. Now after the transport media, let's discuss about the culture media. So in the acute cases, the chocolate agar or the Muller-Hinton agar can be used, while in the chronic cases, the selective medium of Thayer-Martin medium is used. Normally, the diagnosis of the gonorrhea, it is made by isolating the organism in culture. It may not be possible to obtain the gonococci in the culture from some chronic cases or from the patient with the metastatic lesion such as arthritis. In this, the serological test may be valued in such instances. So in the serological test, antibodies to the gonococcal, LPS and the outer membrane proteins, these are detected. So various tests, now we are discussing about the various tests which are used in the lab diagnosis of the gonorrhea. So in this, the first test is the complement fixation test, the precipitation, passive agglutination, immunofluorescence, radioimmunoassay, enzyme link, which is ELISA, and the immunoblotting. So these all tests has to be performed. So however, no serological test has been found useful for the routine diagnostic procedure. Out of these, none of the serological tests has been found to be useful for the routine diagnostic procedure. So after this, let's discuss the treatment and the antibiotic resistance of the gonococci. So the Neisseria gonorrhea, it has become resistant to the numerous antibiotics. Why? Important is, it is resistant to numerous antibiotic. Why? Because it has got a remarkable capacity to alter its antigenic structure. And it can easily adapt to the changes in the microenvironment. So the treatment of gonococcal infections are, for the uncomplicated gonococcal infection, the ceftriaxone is the drug of choice along with the azithromycin and doxycycline to cover the chlamydial infection. For penicillin allergic patient, you can give quinolones as the drug of choice. And the person who cannot tolerate both the cephalosporin and the quinolones, in this you can give the spectinomycin is the drug of choice. If the patient who cannot tolerate both the cephalosporins and the quinolones. So guys, this is all about the gonococci. Now let's discuss the meningococci. So guys, these are the gram-negative spherical or oval cocci, which is 0.6 to 0.8 micrometer in size, and these are arranged in pairs. It means these are diplococci with the adjacent sides are flattened and they are non-motile. They are non-motile, right? And it is the appearance of the gonococcus is the half moon appearance. So the meningococci, these are the gram-negative diplococci. Why diplococci? Because these are arranged in the pairs, and the gram stain smear of the CSF, the gram stain smear of the CSF, they show the meningococci mainly inside the polymorph, important, but often extracellularly also. The meningococci, these are capsulated, important. We have already discussed the capsulated and the uncapsulated in the difference. So the meningococci, these are capsulated. They are arranged in the pair with the adjacent side flattened. That is why it is known as the half moon shape. The transport medium is the Stott medium, and the blood agar, chocolate agar, Muller-Hinton agar, these are the media commonly used for culturing the meningococci. But the transport medium is the Stott's medium. The modified Thayer-Martin, it is a useful selective medium. See, transport medium is Stott's medium, while the selective medium is the Thayer-Martin medium. Right? Now coming on to the virulence vector of the meningococci. So the capsular, it is a capsular polysaccharide, number 1, because it is capsulated. It is a major virulence vector. It has an anti-phagocytic and the anti-bactericidal property. It has an anti-phagocytic and anti-bactericidal property, and it is based on the capsular CP. Capsular polysaccharide meningococci have been divided into serogroups. So outer membrane protein membrane or these facilitates the adhesions. The porins are the P or A or P or A or P or B. The OPC, it is involved in the cell attachment and is a target for the bactericidal antibodies. The immunoglobulin A and protease, it protects the action of the mucosal immunoglobulin A, important. The systems for acquisition of the iron, which is the carrying molecule like the transferrin and lactoferrin. It carries the molecules of transferrin and lactoferrin. Fine. Now after this, the next virulence vector of the meningococci are the lipo-oligosaccharide, which is an endotoxin. So it mediates the induction of the inflammatory cytokines. The morbidity and the mortality of the meningococcal bacteremia and the meningitis, they have to directly correlate with the amount of the circulating meningococcal endotoxin. Coming on to the smear. So this is a gram-negative diplococci inside the polymorphs, but often extracellularly also. They are arranged in the pair with the adjacent side flattened. That is why it is known as half moon appearance or half moon shaped. They are capsulated, they are non-motile. Transport medium is Stott's medium, and culture is modified. Your selective medium is modified Thayer-Martin medium. So the blood agar, chocolate agar, Muller-Hinton starch, casein hydrolysate agar are the medium commonly used for the culturing of the meningococci. Coming on to the serology. So in this, the antibodies to the meningococcal polysaccharides can be measured by the latex agglutination, number 1, or with the hemagglutination test, or by the bactericidal activity. So these two or three are the serological test. Now coming on to the transmission of the meningococci. So the human nasopharynx is the only reservoir of the meningococci. Is very important. Human nasopharynx. So the carriers are the most important source of the infection. Meningococcal meningitis, it is common in the children between 3 to 5 years of age. Important. Out of the 13 serotype or the serogroup, A, B and C are the most important. A is meningococcus, it is associated with the epidemics, while the group C, it is mostly with the localized outbreak, while group B causes both the epidemic and the outbreak. So the drug of choice of the chemoprophylaxis is rifampicin. Penicillin is unable to irradiate the carrier state. Important. Coming on to the laboratory diagnosis of the meningococcal infection. So in this CSF, it is divided into 3 portions. One portion is centrifuged and the gram stain smear are prepared from the deposit. Number second portion is inoculated on the blood agar and the chocolate agar plates, and the third portion of the CSF, it is incubated overnight and then subcultured on the chocolate agar. So in this, the CSF is divided into 3 portions. Coming on to the blood for the culture in the patient with the meningococcemia and the early meningitis. The nasopharyngeal swab for the carriers, the petechial lesions in case of the meningococcemia, and autopsy specimen for from the meninges, lateral ventricle, surface of the brain and the spinal cord. Coming on to the meningococcal vaccine. So the effective vaccine prepared from the purified group A, C, Y and group W, 135 meningococcal capsular polysaccharide. The immunity is group specific. Important. So the vaccine induced good immunity after single dose in the older children and adults, but are of a little value in a children below 3 years of age. It takes 10 to 14 days for the immunity to develop. There is no group V vaccine available at present. So the treatment of meningococcal infection, a third generation cephalosporin such as the ceftriaxone and the ceftazidime, it is a drug of choice. For the treatment of the meningococcal infection in the penicillin allergic patient, chloramphenicol is the drug of choice, while the rifampicin is the drug of choice for the chemoprophylaxis, and the alternate drugs are the ofloxacin, ciprofloxacin and the azithromycin. So in the last, let's discuss the conjugate vaccines. So the immune response to some antigen, it is potentiated by the addition of the adjuvant such as the aluminium salt. In the case of the polysaccharide, or by the conjugation to the carrier protein. Important is this conjugation of the polysaccharide with the carrier protein, it is known as conjugate vaccine. These are available for H influenza, type B pneumococcus and the Neisseria meningococcus A, C, Y and W125. So there is no group V vaccine available at present. So guys, this is all about the Neisseria. Please go through it once and try to make the notes. Thank you.